You're listening to the Reds Podcast.
This is episode number 33. Social proof is extremely important when it comes to selling your products and services today. It's how you stand out. You need more testimonials. You need more reviews. We're going to talk about how to get more social proof, get more testimonials, get more reviews, the easy way. That's on this episode of the Red Podcast.
This is the Red Podcast. Real entrepreneur development. Make more money, work less, and live a life of freedom. No BS advice that really works. Here's your hosts, David Hooper and Laurel Staples.
Laurel, your book's coming out very, very soon.
It's been a long time coming.
It's been a long time coming, and one of the things that authors look to help them sell more books, they look to testimonials.
Testimonials are a big, big thing, really in any business.
Have you started thinking about testimonials for your book?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm working on my marketing plan, and testimonials is a big part of that because that's the big thing that you see on a book, whether it's a fiction book or a nonfiction book. Sometimes you see testimonials on the front cover, but a lot of times the whole back cover is just testimonials from other people who recommend the book or newspapers or magazines or something like that.
Testimonials will make or break a business, or I should say lack of testimonials would be what would break a business, because word of mouth, we look to referrals. That's how we find out about new things. That's what we're going to talk about today. This is the Red Podcast. Red stands for Real Entrepreneur Development. Laurel, what does that mean?
I'd say RED is for business owners who are trying to spread a message. And that's going to be your speakers, authors, bloggers, coaches, podcasters. A lot of those people are combinations of all of those. And people who want strategies and know how to make a six-figure income while spreading their message. That's what it's all about.
So if you want to make money off of your ideas, no matter how you do that, you're sick of the dollars for hours trap, Red is for you. Welcome. We are brought to you today by Mic Tech Audio. They are the makers of the Procast SST. Podcasting is really hot right now, Laurel.
It's huge.
Huge. And it's getting only more popular as it's available in cars now. It's available all sorts of places where it wasn't available before. So we're going to see a lot more people getting into it. Here's the problem, though. One, the money that it takes to get involved with podcasting. And two, people are intimidated by the technical aspects of it. But Mic Tech, and you spell that M-I-K-T-E-K, Mic Tech Audio, the Procast SST, it covers that. It's a one-unit box. It includes a mixer, your mic stand, and a high-quality broadcast mic. There's one cord. You plug it into your computer, then you're podcasting. You can use free software. It's the software we use, Audacity. Download it for free. You're good to go. This thing will run you $2.99. Check it out online. It's the Procast SST. There are plenty of unbiased reviews and testimonials, if you will, available on YouTube. Procast SST by Mic Tech Audio. So let's get into it. Let's talk about social proof, Laurel.
All right. Well, social proof is something that's really helped me in my business, and it's helpful no matter what kind of business you're doing. I mean, on Red, we're talking about people who want to spread their message, but it's really for all types of businesses, whether it's a carpet cleaner or a gutter guard or anything like that. Any type of business owner can benefit from having social proof on their website or in their marketing material.
It's funny you mentioned the gutter guard, and you weren't there at this appointment, but when we moved into the house that we're in now, it was about a year ago, one of the things that I wanted to do was get gutter guards. And gutter guards, if you don't know, it's basically mesh. It's a protection for your gutters. It goes over the top of them to make sure leaves don't get in your gutters and things don't clog up and then water gets everywhere. So I called a gutter guard company, and the guy came to the house. He wanted to measure the gutter length and measure the house and tell me what I needed. And the first thing that he did when he set me down at the dining room table is he pulled out a huge binder of testimonials, handwritten letters that this guy had gotten telling him how great he was. And then he used those letters to sell me on gutter guards.
And it's funny because even though you knew exactly what he was doing and his whole marketing method, you still get roped into it because you're like, well, all these people were satisfied and happy. And we'd been looking at other companies for gutter guards as well. But this guy comes in with a ton of social proof and it backs up what he's saying.
A ton. And not only that, but when I was doing my gutter research, I was going to Yelp. When you think about that, that's just a testimonial. Reviews are just testimonials. I was going to Angie's List. We do that when we shop on Amazon. All of this, everything that we're talking about today, when we talk about how to get testimonials, it could also apply to reviews. And here's why it works. It's because, one, a lot of people don't trust themselves. They're on the edge. These gutters, I don't remember how much the exact price was for them, but it was like the Cadillac of gutters. And they were, you could have bought a car for what these gutter guards cost us. You could have, maybe not a great car, but a fairly good one.
I'm like, how much did you pay for that?
Yeah. And when you're going through that process of like, hey, is this worth it? You know, you don't really trust yourself. Those testimonials are the things that are going to put you over the edge, and having them in your business will help put your clients over the edge and get them, because we've been satisfied with the gutter guards, right? They've been good.
So far, so good.
Everything's dry. They've worked. And that's how your clients will feel too. But it's going to help push them in the right direction, which of course is buying your product or service. And here's another thing is that people want what it is that you have to offer, but we have all that internal conflict. Should we spend this money? And a testimonial or great reviews, what that will do for you is that will back up the decision that they want to make. They're looking for an excuse to buy. And this is the kind of thing that will help them to do that.
People also want to do business with companies that they trust, companies or people that they trust. And how do you show people that you're trustworthy unless other customers have been satisfied with your service or your product? And that's just a way to show them and show that you are trustworthy and that you deliver on what you say you're going to deliver and other people are satisfied.
Let's get down to the brass tacks. Let's talk about elements of a good testimonial. I've got a list here of about 6 or 7 things here. So we're going to go through them really, really quickly. One, you want to get specific and tangible details about results and experiences of the people that you've dealt with.
Before you go into it, I think this is really important because people can go wrong on this very first thing that you're saying, David, is that they get testimonials that aren't results-based, but that are like, oh, I really liked David Hooper. He's really a great person and he's nice, and nobody cares about stuff like that. So I just want to say results-based is really what you need to focus on when you do this.
Right. Specific and tangible. It doesn't matter how nice you are. I think that stuff is great, but that's like icing on the cake. So here are the questions to ask people. Where were they before? What was their problem? Why did they come to you? Then, after working with you, where are they now? And an example of that would be, let's say you've got a weight loss product, or like Laurel used to do. She used to work with people who were looking to better themselves through eating and exercise. And a great testimonial for her would have been, I came to Laurel, I weighed 400 pounds, she gave me some great advice through her 6-week coaching program, now I weigh 200 pounds. It's very, very specific. That did happen, and that's the kind of testimonials you got that allowed you to grow that business.
Yeah, and that's just really important, but to start where they were and where did they go now? Where were they after they worked with you? So what else, David?
You want to ask them, what did they specifically like most? And that's where the icing on the cake is. That's where Laurel is very nice. She has a good bedside manner. She was non-judgmental. She was easy to work with. She was flexible. She worked with me for a custom solution. That's where those things go to. You can ask somebody, were there any secondary benefits? An example for this testimonial would be, I used to weigh 400 pounds. Now I weigh 200 pounds. And not only am I more healthy, my wife finds me more attractive as well. Because that secondary benefit may be the primary reason somebody else is coming to do business with you.
Yeah, that's something you have to get your customers thinking about is those secondary benefits. Because if you don't ask them that, they're not going to think like that. They're just going to say, okay, I came to you and I lost 200 pounds. Great. That's it. You got to get them thinking, okay, what else changed in your life?
We talked about this at the very beginning of this episode with our sponsor, Mic Tech Audio. How many people are getting into podcasting, but podcasting is complicated. What Mic Tech has done is they've made it easy to get into podcasting, and that's the kind of testimonial that you want for your product. That's the other thing that you want to ask people. How easy was it? For example, with Laurel, it was very easy to work with Laurel. She made it very simple. There were only 3 rules that I had to follow, and here were the results. So you can add that in there too.
Or in the case of dieting, like you're talking about, or someone has a diet pill or anything like that, it was easy. I didn't feel hungry. I just did this program and didn't have a problem with it. Wasn't craving anything.
Wasn't craving. There was no exercise. I just took a pill.
Because a lot of people are going to assume that there's some obstacles to work with you. If they get in with you, that they're going to have to do a lot of work. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, or that might be playing in the back of their mind somewhere. So you want to show that, okay, there are no obstacles. It's easy, or it was easy for this person to do an aspect of your program or something that you're offering.
Yeah. They're looking for a catch, and what you want to show them is that there is no catch. And we're talking about diet and health coaching and fitness kind of testimonials. That's just coincidence because Laurel was working in that industry. But with that said, if you want to find an example of great testimonials, look in that niche. Go online, go to Weight Watchers, go to Jenny Craig, go to gymnasiums, go to personal trainers, and look at how they're doing testimonials, because that market, the people who are buying from that market are so sophisticated because there's so much of it. It's an ongoing problem that market has had to get really good at selling, and their testimonials are fantastic. So here's another thing to add as well. You want to ask them how you as the business owner were involved in the process. Again, be specific. I mentioned about working with Laurel and how nice she was, but an example of that would be Laurel took my hand. She made the process painless. She showed up every time on time. She made sure that I wasn't going to fail, and she walked me from 400 pounds to 200 pounds. I would not be where I am today, happy, attractive to my wife, and more healthy had it not been for Laurel.
And also you can say, I recommend, in my case, Laurel, I recommend Laurel because XYZ, kind of help them out with that. And David, I want to sum those up because I think you had a lot of good questions there. So where were they before they started? What was the problem that they had? Next, where are they now to show the transition that took place or the transformation that took place? What specifically did you like the most? Were there any secondary benefits? How easy was it? And how were you, the business owner, involved in the process? Did I get all that right?
You did, and I just want to dive deeper into this. Be specific. Have we mentioned that yet? Be specific. You want them to get as specific as possible. For example, something that I kind of messed up on the example, I was 400 pounds, now I'm 200 pounds. You want to be even more specific than that. And an example of that would be, well, you were 400 and how many pounds? I was 403 pounds, and now I'm 198 pounds. That's the specificity that I'm talking about. It's those little things that are going to really connect with people that are reading your testimonials and get them to buy. It can't look like it's just something that was thrown up there.
So you want to ask your clients or customers these questions and help them be specific. So you want to encourage them to be specific when you send these questions to them. And also want to talk about, David, the difference between video testimonials and written testimonials. Because you see different business owners taking different routes. So let's talk about, is there one better than the other? And what is your thought there?
Well, I will say this. You see a lot of written testimonials, especially for something like diet, a lot of the more personal medical kind of testimonials where they'll just have initials like SD in Nashville, Tennessee, or BK in Florence, Alabama. That stuff to me sounds kind of sketchy. People are already, especially the sophisticated market,